Yes, hello lads and ladies, and welcome to this. We are back, and it's been a while since I've been sat here live on the channel talking about football. It is so good to be back. Let me know if you can see and you can hear me okay. Welcome to the channel. I hope you're all well on this Monday evening. Now, again, this is going to be a League One show where we discuss everything that has happened in the previous week or the last couple of weeks in this. The season is just 9 days old and we've had a lot going on so far. We've had goals, we've had yellow cards, we've had penalties, and every team in League One have had a yellow card, barring Wycombe Wanderers, the team that came down. Again, only 4 teams have won both games and only 3 teams are without a point. And we're going to be directed into this weekend's games, saying about the result, and then looking towards the midweek fixtures and going on from there. But before we do, let's say hello to all the viewers. Hello to Portsmouth. We've got some Portsmouth fans in here. Captain Nat, evening all. We play Wednesday tomorrow night. I will be going. We've got a lot of you guys in the chat. Hello, mate. Hello. Sounds all good. Very good. How's it going? So, the first section we are going to be talking about today is the weekend's fixtures. I'm going to put them on screen now for you guys. And again, a lot of results. There's a lot of good results at the weekend. And again, we're going to start off with Accrington Stanley, as you can see down below. They beat Cambridge 2-1. And Cambridge last week got a point against Oxford in their first game. So it was funny, all the 4 newly promoted teams didn't lose, but they didn't win. Cheltenham went to Crewe and got a point. Cambridge drew at home to Oxford. Bolton drew at home to MK Dons. And Morecambe drew away to Ipswich. Very unfortunate Morecambe not to get all 3 points, despite only having a couple of shots on target. To lose that in the last minute is not the best of situations with Cooley Bomb for his hometown club. But again, Cambridge went to Accrington playing the first away game. Accrington were trying to bounce back from that 2-1 defeat to Wycombe. Obviously, Gareth McCleary scored a brace there. And they did that. Accrington beat Cambridge 2-1. Butcher and Pell with the goals. And Joe Ironside for the visitors. Ironside scored both of Cambridge's goals now. And again, I just thought in this one, Accrington were the better sides. They had the better chances. And, Dion Charles had one tipped over the bar. And it did come. Butcher scored a very good goal. And Pell scored again, cross into the box. Free man, slots it home. And Ironside's goal was a dodgy error by the goalkeeper, James Trafford, who's a young goalkeeper who came out a couple of weeks ago and backed himself to be England's #1 one day and Man City's one day. You've got to have the confidence. He will improve from that, but let's see how he does. Accrington back to winning ways with a 2-1 win. Also, guys, is what I'd like you to do, save your questions for about 40 minutes into the show. We will have a 15 to 20 minute Q&A then. So if you want to ask any questions, I will answer anything revolving football or League One. So get it in. So Accrington to winning ways. Sean McConville, double assist. John Coleman's men up to 3 points. And Cameron Burgess leaves the club for around £800,000 to go to Ipswich Town. They have now made 16 summer signings. That's some serious investment. Accrington, again, they had loads of scouts at their game. John Coleman said in his press conference going into their game this Tuesday. I'm imagining Charles is going to be one of them. Again, a hot talent who Fleetwood let go of. But, just another one of those. Cambridge looking for the first League One win. Going on to Wimbledon against Bolton Wanderers. Now it ended 3-3. Wimbledon, again, back in Plough Lane. It's so good to see that. They got a bigger attendance, more home fans in than MK Dons did, who stole their football club back home. 20 years later, they've got the glory days back. And again, an entertaining game. Bolton, 2 games in League One, 3-3 draws. And what did I say? Signing a new goalkeeper, they'll concede less goals. He scored 6 and conceded 6. They've already used 2 goalkeepers. Matt Gilks played on the opening day of the season, and Josh Dixon played on the second game of the season. So that's what we like to see. Players getting a chance, but you want your goalkeeper to be playing pretty much every match. So I reckon Dixon will be doing that. And again, Wimbledon were 3-1 down in this one. Goals from Ian Doyle, again, up and running from the penalty spot. Josh Sheehan adds to that beautiful free kick he scored against MK Dons in the 3-3 draw. And Alapio Athalon scores his first goal of the season. Only got 1 goal in his loan spell at Bolton last season, but was very impressive and had a good start to this season as well. And Bolton's bench is very strong. You know, the likes of Kachunga on there the other day. You know, you've got Lee on there as well. So you've got a lot of depth. But again, Wimbledon 3-1 down. Nightingale got their goal. And Aaron Presley, Stephen Presley's son. Stephen Presley's son scored from the spot. And a minute later, Dapper and Balud scores again. So it ended 3-3 in that one. Wimbledon 4 out of 6 so far. Most people have them in their bottom 4, but a good start for Wimbledon. And, you know, McCormack, Assel, Presley, all scoring, which you want to do. They have lost Joe Piggott, who's gone to Ipswich and not clicked for him just quite yet. When will it click for him? There. Going on to the next batch of fixtures. Q&A will be coming soon. I'll speak to the chat as soon as I've done this section. Please like and subscribe to the stream, guys. It would be appreciated. Ipswich Town. Again, 16 summer signings this season and not clicked just of yet. They had 67% of possession against Morecambe and they had 65% of possession against Burton. So they've averaged 2/3 of the play in their opening 2 games to only have 1 point. For example, Morecambe have got 41% of possession and got 4 points. Wycombe have only averaged about 39% and have 6 points. So it just shows you there's more than one way to skin a cat. And they're not really dominating game. They did have a lot of shots on target against Morecambe, but not many against Burton. And again, Powell and Atkins, you know, goals. O'Connor an own goal for Ipswich. Again, I just worry about Ipswich. When will it click? How long will it be until they say Paul Cook? No, because they didn't win many games towards the back half of him last year, and they weren't conceding goals. They just weren't scoring. They were the 3rd lowest scorers last year. You've got to remember that. And they brought an abundance in talent, and it just feels a bit like a France. If I was going to compare them, they've got all the best players and they're trying to use them. A bit like what PSG are doing. So you look at, you know, West Burns was left out, so he doesn't seem like a good player for them now. But let's see. They've got, you know, Macaulay Bonne. They've got, you know, James Norwood. They've got, you know, West Burns. They've got Joe Piggott, Fraser. These types of players are very good. They've just signed Louis Barry on loan. He played at the weekend as well. So they've got a very good squad. It's just defensively they needed thingy, and they brought this Cameron Burgess in from Accrington, which I like. Janai Dinesky, who was on loan at Fleetwood last year, played at centre half the other day. So until they get that balance right, I think they're going to need to give Cook time. Give him 12 to 15 games. Remember Critchley last year at Blackpool? 21 went out the door, 17 came in the door. So, and after a while, they got off to a good start. So, let's see how Ipswich do. I reckon if you give them a bit of time, they'll get clicking because they've got the talent and the attack abundance to do it. So Burton off to a good start though. 2 games, 2 wins, kind of leaving off where they started last year. You know, didn't start well at all last year. Ended really well and started off how they ended last year. On fire, getting into teams' faces. A 1-0 win over a decent Shrewsbury side last week. Then beating Ipswich at the Pirelli with a late penalty from Lucas Aikins. I like that a lot. Going on to Cheltenham against Wycombe now. Wycombe, again, they beat Accrington last week 2-1, Gareth McCleary, but they've got a lot of good players. And Wycombe have gone to a back 5. They've gone to a 5-3-2 with the wing-backs pushing on. And Sully Kaikai, who was at Blackpool, drafting as a wing-back, didn't quite come to me with his defensive attributes, but Gareth Angel will discipline him and make him a better player all round. And they went to a back 5 towards the kind of last 16, 18 games of the season. And the last something like 12 games, they got 24 points at Wycombe. They got half the points in the last 12 games. Stockdale came in for Ryan Osborne, who got injured. He's now at Derby. Stockdale, still their goalkeeper now, a lot of experience. And, you've got some good players in front of you. You look at your Stewart, look at your Joe Jacobson, who got an assist the other day, a wonder of a left foot, especially from your set pieces, Kai at wing back. And then you've got a front two of McCleary or Vokes, or, you can play Scowling just behind. And I like that a lot. And Pendlebury, a young lad who they picked up, scored a brace the other day, and Sam Vokes, who the ex-Burnley and Stoke striker, scores again. And, Akinfenmore comes off the bench. So they're using the squad nice. They've got a good bunch of kids. I think they've got an average age of 29 at Wycombe, which is a very good age. You know how to get out of League One. They've done it before. I think they could go one better and win automatic promotion this year. Let me know in the comments how you think Wycombe will do. I'm very interested in that. Cheltenham, I do worry. Williams scoring again. Andy Williams, 2 goals from 2. They've got a good point against Crewe. Crewe again lost at the weekend. We'll get on to them in just a moment. But I don't see where goals come from. They've got some good League One players. Matty Blair, Alfie May, Will Boyle. They play a back three, and all their 3 centre-halves are right-footed. When you're playing a back three, you preferably want 2 right-footers and a left-footer. But as Fleetwood know, if you're left-footed and you're a centre-half, you can add at least 200 grand onto your transfer fee. They're very hard to come across. We've had some good left-footers for Fleetwood on loan. Lewis Gibson, who's now gone out on loan, who's gone to Sheffield Wednesday, had a spell at Reading. You look at Ben Davis, who's gone to Liverpool, very good for Preston, gone and played over 150 games in the Championship since his loan spell. So I like it a lot. And it's going to be interesting to see how Cheltenham do this year. But I like Duff as a manager, and I think he could do a decent job this season. If he keeps them up, very good job. They just signed Kyle Vassell. So if they can get the best out of him, because he works hard and he will hold the ball up. But, Lincoln City now. Fleetwood Town go there, and we start very well. I thought Fleetwood were the better side for the first half. And Fleetwood and Cheltenham, by the way, Fleetwood have averaged 5.5 shots on target per game. That's 11 in 2 games. Cheltenham have had 12 shots on target. That's 6 per game. They're the 2 most in the league, but they've only got 1 point between them. For example, Wycombe and Sheffield Wednesday have only had 2.5 each, 5 so far this season, and they've got a win each. That just shows you what a good striker can do. Will Keane, Stephen Humphreys, your Pattersons, your Barry Bannons. Whereas Fleetwood and Cheltenham need that 3 or 4 chances to score. And that's where I worry for Fleetwood this year. Danny Andrew scores a textbook Danny Andrew free kick, kills it into the top corner. I like it a lot. But Lincoln are Lincoln, and they came back. Fleetwood sat back, negative substitutions, in my opinion. Scully, wonder of a foot, and kills it into the corner. And James Hill just goes in marching in, clumsy, reckless, and poor. He's a very good young player, but he just does stupid things at stupid times. And, it's very worrying. And Scully scores the penalty, a brace to him. And Lincoln, again, very good on the day. A dude I like a lot. If that's them, they're not at their full strength, I'd like to see what they are going to be at the full strength. They have lost Grants, your Rogers, your TJ Ayomas. Well, I think TJ Ayoma is their biggest loss. Forget Grant, forget your Rogers, forget your, those types of players. Your Brennan Johnsons. Losing TJ right back with a stalwart at right back, as Gary Neville once said he was a couple of weeks ago. But again, interesting going to Portsmouth. I've heard a rumour today on the grapevine. But Lincoln 4 points from 6. Very unlucky not to get 3 last week against Gillingham. And we go to MK Dons now. And Sunderland, I worried about the start of the year. I did put them in the playoffs. I didn't quite put them in the playoffs. I didn't quite put them in the playoffs before the season, but when it came round, I did put them into my top 6. Stewart again, back-to-back goals, 2 goals in 2, and up the table they go. One of only 4 teams to win the opening games, and both games have been 2-1. And Stewart and Elliot Embleton, in my opinion, is like a new signing for them. He was frozen out. He goes on loan to Blackpool, and does very, very well. He was crucial in their second half of last year. Very versatile, can play behind the strike, can play a little bit deeper, out on the wings as well. He's got an excellent goal when Blackpool probably needed it the most. It went to 3-1 overall in the tie. A couple of minutes later, Elliot Embleton wrapped in, kills it in the corner, 4-1, and that was it in the end of the story. Helping in promotion. Blackpool did want him back, but Sunderland aren't willing to sell him. They don't need the money. And put a ridiculous fee on, so Blackpool put off. But again, a goal and assist for that man so far this season. And of course, Parrott on loan from Spurs, Troy Parrott, who's not done too well on his loan spells. You know, a couple of dodgy spells at Millwall and Ipswich, which kind of damaged his reputation. You know, he has come on for Spurs' first team in the FA Cup. He played against Norwich again in the FA Cup as Spurs bowed out in that one as they lost on penalties themselves. Now, going on to a feel-good story, feel-good Morecambe, you see round the Mazuma or the Globe Arena Stadium as they beat Shrewsbury. Now, Shrewsbury are the only team in League One yet to score a goal this season, and Morecambe, again, excellent. Adam Phillips, who they had on loan in the first half of last season, he then leaves the football club and then goes to Accrington on loan, scores a screamer against Fleetwood last year. It was very good. Morecambe win promotion. And Tumani Diagara, who Fleetwood had, was outstanding for them. They had kind of him. They had Wildig. You know, they had a very good midfield. It was kind of him, Wildig as a partnership. And I like that. I like they had Jan Sanogo. So they had kind of Jan and Tumani as a two CDM. Wildig just in front. Then they have the front three of, you know, your Mendes Gomez, who's gone to Luton, your Cole Stocktons, your Liam McAlindens, former Fleetwood boy himself, now it's Stockport County. And they did lose a lot of, you know, of their better players. You know, Jan Sanogo left the football club. You know, they lost a couple of their key loanees, but they replaced very well. But what I like about Morecambe, they kept Lavelle, who was injured. There's a lot of rumours he was going to Wycombe early in the week. I like that bit of business. But if Wycombe can get Sam Lavelle, that'll go under the radar, in my opinion. And Sam Lavelle, good leader, good age, you know, Wycombe's type, kind of can be ball playing, but can spray a long ball over the top. So let's see how that materialises. But they kept, you know, your Kyle Letherans, they kept the Cole Stocktons, who's got 3 goals into a goal every 60 minutes for that man. They kept Tumani, gave them new deals, and they just added that, you know, Josh McPay, McLaughlin, and, you know, the manager, Stephen Robinson. Yes, sir, I can boogie. And Morecambe fans are loving it. This is not a dream. This is not a fairy tale. This is a team that have worked hard. You know, they've been given a budget. They look at the tables, they look at predictions, they look at the newspaper articles, and that's their motivation. 4 points from 6. Can they keep up? There are rivals. I want to see Morecambe stay up this year. I don't care what anyone says. You know, it's very good to see. And fair play to Morecambe. But Shrewsbury I worry about. Koch was a good manager. They started slow last year. But goals is going to be an issue. You know, Bowman not quite hit it so far. You know, you've got Pennington in midfield. You've got a good core of that squad. It just feels like maybe 1 or 2 light. But they are a team that can kind of get you 1-0s and your 2-0s when it comes available. We've had a lot of comments. Hello, Tubin Talks Football. Hello from Lincoln, someone says. I reckon Cole Stockton is this season's Tommy/Charlie Wyke. I like that. He didn't score too many last year. I think he got just over double figures. But his influence on that Morecambe side is more than just goals, by the way. He holds the ball up very well and he brings others into play. And how he can isolate, win fouls. I like that a lot. Morecambe aren't have a lot of the ball. I think they've had the 4th or the 5th lowest amount of possession so far in the 2 games, but they've won games, and he's been a big part of that. He scored 3 of the 4 goals, and the other one was Adam Phillips penalty. Hello, Roy. Thanks for joining in, mate. I hope you're well. A bit tired after work, but good. Very good to hear. Hello, Fowler. Hello, guys. Let me know. I'm a Blackpool fan, but your football knowledge and your vlogs are immense, lad. Thank you very much. Please remember to keep liking and subscribing. We will be doing a Q&A in about 25 minutes' time. And we're going to whittle on with the rest of this weekend's reviews and then go into some small sections of teams. Oxford against Charlton. Oxford normally slow starters. Charlton again. not quite at it, in my opinion. They've signed 5 or 6 very good players. Your Craig McGilverys, your Femmerwells, your Stockleys, your Dobsons. I like it. I think they signed the lad who was at Oxford last year as well. But for me, they are still 5 or 6 light. Atkinson is a very good positive manager. They'll get better as the season goes on, I'm sure. Oxford, Williams scores again. And Brannigan again has scored his 16th goal. He's played 146 games since joining Oxford. Been a core in that Oxford midfield. Had numerous injuries, but he's always been there and a very good player. I like him a lot. Plymouth against Gillingham. Jeff Cobb back on the score sheet. A late winner for Argyle at home park. Oliver just needs that goal. They've only got 3 strikers, Gillingham. Your Sitole, again, a young striker. Then you've got Kinde and Oliver, who are very similar. Hold up, big strikers. You kind of need a runner in behind. You can run in behind the channels. You're missing your Grahams. But they've still got good players, Danny Lloyd, Kyle Dempsey, Ben Reeves. Good, they've signed well. They'll be fine this season. In embargoes, they have to be careful. A bit like Fleetwood, there's a maximum of how many players you can have in your squad, I believe, for the Gills. Let's see how that materialises. Now, going on to Portsmouth. Again, these next 2 clubs, Portsmouth and Wednesday, they both got back-to-back clean sheets. Portsmouth beat Fleetwood 1-0. Alex Bass in goal. And then Gavin Banzu in goal against Crewe. 2-0 win. Mark was up and scoring. Harness as well, scoring a goal. You want your wingers and your strikers getting goals early on and then going to get your 10, 15s. I think you look at Portsmouth, they'll chip in with goals from all over. They'll be thereabouts. If Curtis can get you 10 plus, Marcus will get you 15 plus, Harness will get you 10 plus. Already then you're looking at a minimum of 35 goals. Then you've got your different types of players that you can bring on. Hackett Fairchild, Tunnicliffe. Tunnicliffe, by the way, three goals for Portsmouth this year, 3 assists. What a man. But for Crewe, 2 games, 1 point. Portsmouth and Cheltenham at home. It's not ideal, but they were very patchy last year, I thought. They went on very good runs and very poor runs as well. So let's see how they get on for the rest of the season. But I do believe Crewe could be in the bottom 6 or the bottom 8 this year. Dave Artell I like, but I don't think they're strengthened enough. Owen Dale did come off injured the other day as well. He was one of the better players, and Charlie Kirk has gone to Charlton as well. So I worry for them. But Portsmouth on a roll. Shrewsbury up next at Fratton Park. Big chance of getting 9 from 9. But Shrewsbury are no pushovers and will be hard to beat. Barry Bannon masterclass, and Duranian scores against Doncaster Rovers in the derby. Again, got a point away at Charlton. Didn't play too well, goalless draw, but 2-0 against Blackburn. Doncaster. There we go. Doncaster Rovers, and Doncaster. I said at the start of the year, it wouldn't surprise me if they were in the bottom 4 come the end of the season. I think that's harsh. I think maybe bottom 8. I think they signed well, but losing Ben Whiteman, they haven't really got a goal scorer. Jordi Awula might get you 10 and 15 goals. I don't particularly like Richie Wellens as a manager. I think he struggled with a very good Salford side, but also he went up with Swindon. He did very well, but you've got to remember they had Jerry Yates and Ian Doyle up front who got 50 goals. So, I know you have to get promoted with what you've got, but I worry for Doncaster. But Sheffield Wednesday are moving nicely because it's always hard with teams, that go down. It's hard to get into a winning mentality again. And you've seen that with Bristol Rovers in the past. You saw that with, teams that have gone down to League One before. You saw Southend last year, losing mentality, went down to the National League. They stopped the rot. They're getting back up to it. And that's what Hull did. Hull were very good champions last year. They scored a lot of goals, but they did the job. And they weren't spectacular, Hull, but they got the job done and they won regularly. And it's just like, they won so regularly, they got out of sight and they were promoted with 3 or 4 games to go. And that's what you need. And now we are going to go on to the bottom 5/ the top 6. Now, it is a bit early, I must admit, but there's always time for it to change. Now, Cheltenham again are 20th in the league currently, 1 point and -2 goal difference, only scoring 2 goals so far, conceding 4. Then the bottom 4 consists of Crewe, Fleetwood, Doncaster and Shrewsbury. Fleetwood have lost both games against Portsmouth and Lincoln. Two sides that'll be there or thereabouts. But Fleetwood and Cheltenham can take positives that they've had a lot of shots on target. If you can put their chances away, they should start to get results soon. Those two do play each other on Saturday, by the way. Doncaster, again, we've just mentioned, in Shrewsbury, again, no goals yet. Worrying times, but they'll be there or thereabouts at the end of the season, in around, your 10th to your 16th. As normal, you look at your top six. Again, the four teams that we've mentioned, Wycombe, Portsmouth, Sunderland and Burton, have all got off to winning starts. Portsmouth and Sheffield Wednesday have kept both clean sheets in both games. Morecambe are fifth. Stop the count, Morecambe fans. You've beaten Blackburn Rovers. You've got 4 points out of 6. Unbelievable story. Can they carry on this weekend? Well, this Tuesday against Rotherham, who did lose to Wigan. 1-0, Wigan 1-0. A Will Keane last-minute winner. They've got some good players there. Ladapo on the bench. Ferguson on the bench. Rathbone not used. Only 39% possession, though, for Rotherham. How will they get on come the end of the season? They should be there up there. Lepardo and Michael Smith as a front two. Sunderland, again, going quietly about their business, are in the top 6. Now, quickly onto our teams section now, where we'll be talking about a certain team for 3 or 4 minutes and then just seeing how they're going to do. Morecambe are our first team. Again, they came up from League 2 last season. They've got 4 points from 6 games. Stockton keeps scoring. He scored 3 of their 4 goals. The other one was an Adam Phillips penalty. And again, he scored in the cup the other day. So he's actually got 4 in 3, averaging a goal in the league at every 60 minutes. If he kept that up, he'd be scoring a lot of goals. You'd be on for about 69 goals a season. I don't think he'll quite keep it up. A bit like we saw Callum Campbell be able to do it last year. If he can get 15 goals now, it'll be a different approach. Because, again, I bet his target at the start of the year was double figures. That'll go up now, certainly. Lavelle, again, we've mentioned he's staying at the football club, it seems. Stephen Robinson, again, has brought, some experience. Greg Lee, I like that a lot. But they've got a lot of new players to bed into the squad. Johansson, Icelandic goalkeeper from Reading. And like we say, we saw Stephen Robinson. He's boogieing all night long. The Morecambe fans love him. It's a hard job coming to replace Derek Adams, who did what he did. The amount of points he matched up to miss out on automatic promotion by a point and to go up via Wembley. Was it a penalty? Probably not, but they don't care. And off they go. On to Lincoln now. I said Lincoln on Saturday were the best fans I've seen in League One. And I've watched videos back and I've seen it back. They were immense. Now I'm far to say if that's behind closed doors, Fleetwood win that game. Lincoln were the 12th man. They were loud. They were buoyant. 8,000 home fans. They didn't stop. Fleetwood made a good noise for 103, I must say. They silenced them for 15 minutes. And then it just went like a balloon. As soon as they went in, scored. Scully, top corner. He got 11 goals last year. Playoff heartbreak for him last year. Him and Hopper, the two up front that have really stayed and want to get that club out of the league. And I said Michael Appleton, given 3 years, will do that. I like him a lot. He's done a very good job at Oxford. Wasn't given the chance at Blackpool. Blackburn was a tough job. And then, going to Lincoln, slow start, but unbelievable, really. And, I like them a lot. I think they've got some good talent. Maybe need a couple more players. Got some good players to come back as well. Adelican not in full fitness. Dana El Dudu is set to come back to the side this weekend. He has trained today. On to Wigan Athletic now. Wigan have been splashing the cash. £10,000 repeatedly a week on Charlie Wyke. But in Stephen Humphreys, I like that a lot. A couple of good players in midfield. Tom Naylor worked with him at Portsmouth when Liam Richardson was Paul Cook's assistant manager at Pompey. I like that. Same with Jack Watmore. So he's bringing players that he knows. Gian Edwards, again, linked to Paul Cook, Ipswich. So again, they can talk to each other about what type of player he is and what type of character he is. He did get a goal last weekend against Sunderland. Very neat finish, I must say myself. Wigan, again, Will Keane last minute, winner. I like him a lot. They've got still a lot of their players from last year as well in the team. Callum Lang, Will Keane was one of them. So they kept a couple of those players that stayed around. Jamie Carragher's son was on the bench the other day. That's a good story. He's been there for a while now. I did say I worried for Liam Richardson. I think I exampled him like Chelsea. He's gone from having kids who want to fight for each other, who want to get that platform into professional football, want to get a contract, want to prove the doubt was wrong. Now people are talking about promotion, playoffs, top 10, and there's more pressure on, and he's dealing with egos, with bigger wages, history. Charlie White just come off scoring 31 goals, not been given much service so far. But if they can get on a groove and they get onto a winning, formula, I think they'll be fine. I don't believe Wigan will get to the top 6, but I reckon they'll challenge on being around the top 10. Let me know in the comments, by the way, where you think Wigan will finish this year. Let me know your top 6 and we'll come back to it at the end of the show in the Q&A. Going on to Ipswich Town, we've got Ipswich, Portsmouth and Sheffield Wednesday left to do, and then we'll go on to the Q&A. Ipswich, 16 new signings, I've mentioned, and they've averaged 66% of possession. They've signed a lot of good players. Paul Cook has won promotion before and has done it with clubs that have had ownership problems, which I like, which Ipswich have just come off the back of and got new wealthy owners. Chesterfield, Portsmouth have had trouble in the past. Wigan have had trouble in the past. So if he can go to Ipswich and at 4 from 4, that will really show the character. Yes, he had a bad end to last year, but as you place him with his players now, I believe you need to give him time. You cannot let go of 15 players, bring in 16, and all of a sudden think, right, we're going to beat Morecambe, we're going to beat, Burton, because Morecambe are going to be rallied up because it's pretty much, their season. They're going to fight for everything. They're going to be buoyant. Burton are riled up from winning against Shrewsbury in the end of last year and want to go on and say that wasn't just a honeymoon period. So they've had tough games. They have to beat Cheltenham tomorrow, though. They have to get in Cheltenham's faces. But again, problem with Ipswich, Cheltenham, it'll be their cup final tomorrow, Cheltenham, because they want to win. They want to get the first win in League One, at home, good atmosphere, under the light, playing against Ipswich, ex-FA Cup in Europe, been in the European Cup before. They want to do it. So it's hard for them, but they're going to have to get used to that. And I look at it, I don't think there's many leaders in that team or many winners. I think they go down a little bit too easily and they're too nice. And I like teams that are nasty, in your face, horrible. Portsmouth with that against Fleetwood. Every decision that Free made in the face. Again, dominated from minute 1 to 45. Fleetwood go on the back foot. They have the one chance, they score it. They see it out, they time waste. That's what Ipswich need to do. You need to be nasty in League One to get out of it. Blackpool were that at times last year and they got up. Luton did it. They were beaten at home. Barnsley did it. Got to the playoffs last year. If you're nasty and you can kind of shithouse it, in the words, you'll do better than you think. Honestly, if Ipswich were a bit more nasty and a bit more meaner, I think they could do well this year. I really do believe that. Portsmouth now, I've said they're going slightly under the radar. I put them 9th. Every year I've done predictions in the last 3 years, they've always been in my playoffs. 2 of the 3 they've got into the playoffs. The last year they finished outside on the last day. However, this year, I think this is their weakest one in years, but they've still got some very good players. Their new midfield trio of, or double act are very good. Tunnicliffe, 2 games, 3 assists. I said to my mate at the Fleetwood Portsmouth game, that lad, Tunnicliffe, he's a player, by the way. Brick wall, nothing got played against him. He was everywhere. He must have tracked over 12 kilometres. And I liked it. He was, in your face. He was quick at you, he pressed you. He sat back. Intelligent footballer, and that's why he's played in the Championship. So I just thought Close and Naylor were good players, but you could get round them. If you played up against them or played it long, fine. But if you could get in the face with two young, energetic midfielders, you could get past them. Tunnicliffe, good age, good energy, and that's why I believe Portsmouth may do better this year than expected. Sheffield Wednesday now. Again, this is the last club. Now, again, due at the first game against Charlton, a lot of new players. Lewis Wing, Peacock Farrell, and still got your likes of Pattersons, your Barry Banners, Shadupo's come into the side who scored 10 goals at Oxford last year, playoff semi-final defeat against Blackpool. But again, they've got players that I like, but no League One. Ipswich didn't buy players for League One when they first came down. Sunderland didn't buy players for League One when they first came down. You can't do it. Salford try and buy Championship players in League Two. You need players that know League One, know how to get out of it. It's a very tough league. You're playing against teams that are going to scrap. And players in League One can earn a living off a set piece. People might think that's bold. If you can take a good set piece or a good free kick, you could play for a League One club, in my opinion. Like, it's that simple. That's how teams stay up. Burnley do it every year. Set pieces, cross into the box, stay up in the Premier League. You know, you look at League One last year, Fleetwood was scrappy, but scored a lot of set pieces and cross into the box that kept us up. If you're not a good side, you can get results by just bounding it into the box and score. Wycombe got promoted via it. So try it. But Wednesday have got some good ball players in there. You know, Lewis Gibson's come in. I love that man. I think he's a very good player. You know, Iorfa, good player. You know, good goalkeeper now. Good wing backs. Wednesday could surprise a few. Let me know where you think your team and maybe Wednesday will finish this year. And again, now we're going to go in to Tuesday now, and then we'll go on to the Q&A. But before we do so, let's read some more comments. Please like and subscribe. I hope you're enjoying the show. I'm going to try and make this a weekly or a 2-weekly thing. So there might be a Monday where there isn't a show, but there will always be a show the week after. I'm going to try my best for you guys. There'll always be matchday vlogs and League One videos on the channel as well. I agree with that in League 2021. I think Wednesday don't get autos. Chansiri will be getting... Chansiri will be getting trigger happy with more. Yes, they had 4 managers last year, if you think about it. They had Gary Monk, they had Tony Pulis, they had, you know, Moore, and they had obviously the assistant manager they had. So for a long period of time. This weekly thing could make my Mondays. I'd love to see it. Simon Grayson's Red and White Army. No comment. Jake Tong, yes, and Nappers. How are we, son? Hello, Jake. Jake's a very good lad. He hosts the Stacey West podcast. A very good win for his team on Saturday. He'll be coming on during the season. I'm sure we will be getting guests from Portsmouth. We've got a special League One, you know, Riker and Blogger coming on soon. So let me know what guests you'd like to see, and we can arrange that. Lincoln, good home and away kit, to be fair. Hi, Ben. How are you? I'm very good, mate. Thank you very much. Lincoln, the best home fans in League One. Player Pumpy, a great performance on Saturday. What else we got? Cambridge United fans. Zach, do you think Cambridge will finish 17th or 16th? I've got them in my bottom 4. I just don't see them scoring enough goals. You know, Shiloh Trace is a good player, and so is Joe Ironside. But leave your questions for 5 or 10 minutes. We will get to them. Make sure you're getting like and subscribing, guys. Ben, do you think Grace will stay till the end of the season? I'm going to end that. I'm going to answer at the end of the stream. Great show, Ben. Thank you very much. Now, let's go on to the next few fixtures. We've got Accrington against Doncaster. Now, Accrington, again, we talk about set piece. We talk about being nasty, long balls in your face. Accrington are that, but they play good stuff at times. They've got some good players. You know, McConville, very good player. You know, John O'Sullivan, good player. You know, Dion Charles, I like him a lot. They sell the attributes on, but they buy back and they bring gems from non-league. Doncaster, I worry about. I think Wellens will be in the top 5. I don't think Wellens will be there at the end of the season, but let's see what I know come the end. I'm going for an Accrington winning that one. I think they'll just have enough. Wimbledon against Gillingham. Now, Wimbledon, Plough Lane. Now, what a beautiful stadium. And I said, losing Piggott could be a good thing in one way. They were a one-man team, but you saw Spurs yesterday. That performance, that kind of intensity, that togetherness. You know, we're not Harry Kane FC. Let's go and beat them. Let's go and beat the team that want Harry Kane. And we did that 1-0. And Spurs deserve to win that game. Don't at me on that. Spurs deserve to win that game of football for their performance. And Wimbledon remind me very similar. Losing Piggott, 20 goals, I know, is tough. But they brought some good players in. McCormack was a gem at Bristol Rovers. Yes, they got relegated, but was their best player last year by a country mile, their best player. Then you look at your likes of your Presleys, who will add an aerial threat, your Nightingales, your Hennigans, you know, your Hartingans. Very good team, very good character. They've got a bit more depth now, and they've kind of improved the whole squad, you know. And I think if they get going, they'll get enough points. You know, Palmer, I like him, he was good at Crawley. 4 points from 6 is a good start, but they need to carry on that, and let's see how it goes. But I'm going to back a Wimbledon winning that. I think Gills aren't quite the same right now. It's a good time to play them. Burton against Sunderland. Now, Sunderland have got a bit of a ropey record against Burton. Obviously, they got relegated when they played them in the Championship, and not got a great record since. Burton again, both sides unbeaten. Both sides got both 2 wins from 2. Sunderland won away at the weekend. Burton, a good performance. I'm going for a draw in that one. I think both sides are very good. They're going to be hard to beat, and both sides will be up there. I think Burton may be top 10, Sunderland top 6. I think the quality will, over the season, just show. Cheltenham against Ipswich, 2-0 Ipswich, in my opinion. I like Cheltenham. I like the togetherness. I like the way they got up. Long throws last year was a key part for them. Fleetwood have it with James Hill. They've got some good players, got some good height in there. I mentioned, Will Boyle, very, Championship and League One club, interested in him last year. Fleetwood amongst those last year. I'm going to back, and Ipswich winning that one. Lincoln against Bolton. Bolton, I'm going to go 1-0 to Lincoln. I think Lincoln will grind out a win. Bolton's goal scoring 3 will end soon. Bolton had a bit of rot show last year. They're conceding the goals at the minute, but they're scoring goals at the minute. How long can they score goals? 4. Because you shouldn't have to be scoring 3 to draw a game of football. You want to be getting 1 minimum to draw. I'd be disappointed if Fleetwood's scoring 2 goals at the minute. It's a novelty, but you want to be getting 2 goals and winning the game of football. Never mind 3 enjoying the game of football. So if they can keep that back door shut, they'll get results because they've got quality on the front foot. But I believe Lincoln have got a quality defence, and I like it a lot. So let's see. I'm going to go for a Lincoln win. Go on the Imps. MK against Charlton. Now, MK Dons are trying to get that first win of the season. A 3-3 draw and a 2-1 defeat against a Charlton side that, again, a 0-0 and a 2-1 defeat. I'm going to go for a 1-0 Charlton win. An away win, good defensive display. Morecambe against Rotherham. I'm going to go for a Morecambe win. Rotherham look good, but their depth isn't what it was. And Morecambe's togetherness, under the lights, back-to-back home wins. They had over 3,000 home fans, by the way, the other day, which might not seem a lot, but for Morecambe is incredible. Fair play to them. The season ticket loyalty thing, where the more that they sold, the cheaper it was, and they sold nearly 2,000 season tickets. So fair play to the ownership there. Fair play to the management and all the players are putting on a performance. And let's see how they do get on at the end of the season. Oxford against Crewe. I'm going to say that's a straightforward Oxford 2-0 victory for me. Dave Artell's men. Tough game to go play Oxford away on a Tuesday night. Fleetwood will have that in a couple of months. I just think Oxford's quality, your Brannigans, your Taylor was on the bench the other day, Sam Winnell up front, Brannigan, they've replaced Rob Atkinson very well, Dickey went to QPR, they've replaced him before. I like them. They sell, they're like the League One Brentford. They sell, they bring in, they sell, make money. That's how they keep their club afloat pretty much. And they've got a good, home for fans, 6 to 10,000 fans at times. Plymouth against Cambridge. I'm going for a draw. I think Cambridge are a side that are going to be tough to beat this year, but not offering much going forward. And literally hope on Joe Ironside, who scored 14 goals last season. So let's see how that goes on. But I believe it'll be a draw in that one. Portsmouth against Shrewsbury. Yet to score Shrewsbury. Portsmouth yet to concede. This is just having the mindset of 1-0 Shrewsbury written all over it, isn't it? But I back Portsmouth. I think they'll get a win under the lights, Fratton Park. A lower crowd, 11,000 on Saturday. Ticketing issue at Portsmouth, but still got the win. Still a very good atmosphere. But again, they got that job done in the end. Sheffield Wednesday against Fleetwood. Now, again, I've been impressed by Fleetwood's first 2 half performances. First half against Portsmouth, excellent. Second half against Wednesday, outstanding. First half against Lincoln, outstanding. Second half against Portsmouth, as soon as they saw Shaden Morris out and he went knackered, game over. Same against Lincoln. Our tactics are give it to the number 22, run as fast as you can in a straight line, try and cut in, cross the ball, header out. That's our tactics. And they're easy to suss against. They have 2 good fullbacks and a good defence Wednesday. Wide pitch, which could be beneficial for Fleetwood. But I think Wednesday will beat us 2. I'll go 2-1. I think we'll score first and we'll lose the game again, unfortunately. And finally, Wigan against Wycombe. 2 sides that'll be up there at the end of the year. I back Wycombe to get the top 2 this year. I firmly believe Wycombe's manager is one of the best in the league, and they've got a great squad now. You know, Pendlebury coming in, Scowen coming in, you know, Vokes, Akinfenwa, McCleary, Stockdale, Stewart, Jacobson, Kai. The list goes on. I like them a lot. And you know, I know they'll be in the playoffs. They deserve to. And again, that revenue from last year doing very good for them. Now we are going to go on to a Q&A. Let me know your questions down below. We've got 15 minutes to go before we end our show at 8 o'clock. Please get your questions in. This is where we interact with you guys at home. And Simon Kendrick has come in with a £1.79 super chat. Thank you very much, mate. I really appreciate that. Very kind. I met him at the Fleetwood game the other day. Very good to talk to. All donations will be going back into the channel. As you can see, guys, we've got a new microphone for the channel now, which we're not using today. That's my interview mic. Again, everything I made last year has gone back into the channel this year to make it even better. So I really appreciate that. So yeah, let's get your question. Now, there was a question. Do you think Simon Grayson will end? I reckon if Fleetwood are in the bottom 6 by Christmas, he'll be gone. He's on a 3-year deal, but I believe he's only on a year rolling contract. So we only have to pay him a year up front only. Grayson's in a tough job, but Saturday he lost us that game, in my opinion, unfortunately, by his tactics. And let's see how he does. If we're in the bottom 6 by the end of Christmas, I think Pilly will trigger. Rumour has it, Tony Hullett messaged me before, Fleetwood not in an embargo anymore. So if that is true, that makes me think Pilly's a bit worried about the squad. Our best 2 players have come from our youth setup. So don't give me the excuse we're using youth. Matete and Shaden Morris are our best 2 players at the moment. Oh, who's the other one? James Hill. So our best 3 outfield players have come from our youth. So let's have it there. Just Kirby. Oh no, we don't want to be too horrible about the Jills, do we? So yeah, keep your questions up. Love that. Right, go on with your questions then. 200 million. Love Ben's live stream during lockdown. I managed to catch up with him at Highbury. Thank you very much, mate. I really appreciate that. Hi, mate. Lincoln fan here. Good game on Saturday. Unlucky, pal. All the best to you, mate. Cambridge United, Zach. Hello. Yeah. Which underrated team do you think will finish highest in the league? It's a very good question. And I did say MK Dons, but I don't believe they'll be up there at the end of the season now. I did say Shrewsbury will have a good year. Wycombe, I don't think are underrated anymore. And we'll have the Burton, because Burton again ended last season. So there are a bit of talks that they're going to do well this year. But they signed very well. You know, when you look at the players that they brought in, I like it a lot. And, you know, Amari Patrick, Tom O'Connor, Sean Essie came into the football club. You kept your Garrett. And they brought goals into the side. They brought a bit of flair into the side. And I like it. They kept Lucas Atkins as a goal scorer as well. So, got a good manager. They've got a good assistant manager in Dino as well. So, I think they'll be up there. Let me know your team that maybe be up there come the end of the year. How am I doing in Fantasy Premier League? I've got 65 points on Saturday, which is 4 points below average. But I had Salah and Fernandez in there who got me about 50 of those points. Just me other players letting me down. Can we hold on to James Hill and Shaden Morris? Now, I was speaking to my dad after the Stoke game and I went, it's a novelty that we're going to have to sell. If Fleetwood Town wants to sustain itself without Andy Pilly bankrolling us, our method is selling our players for a good price. We, in previous years, have let go of our core players at a net wage where we don't get a fee. David Ball went for nothing. Conor McLaughlin went for nothing. Murray Bell went for next to nothing. Devante Cole went for next to nothing. So when you look at that, we need to sell players when we've got good offers on the table. That's what we did with Paddy Madden. That's what we did with Wes Burns. And that's what we did with Josh Feeney. We got £1 million from those 3 players. And that will help the club run for 3 months. So, you know what I mean? It's and probably help to help our embargo as well. And will help with that, you know. So I think as soon as an offer comes in for Jay Matete, I reckon he's off. James Hill, a year left on his contract, will get a fee through a tribunal, but not much. If he was to, he'd go in January or before the end of this window. And Shaden Morris, I reckon, won't want to be like this. He won't want to be the bright light at the side. He will want to be a good player and play every minute, but at the minute he's getting no service and he's having to create it all. So let's see. I think Shayden Morris, Jay Matete and James Hill. James Hill's still got a lot of lunacy, but he's a very good player. As has Morris. Matete looks ready. He looks a real deal, Jay Matete. Outstanding on Tuesday against Stoke. There was 2 positive things against Stoke for me for Fleetwood. The final whistle and Jay Matete. Top 3 players you've seen this play. So I've only seen 2 games. I'm not going to count the Stoke game. I'll probably go for Teo Adoon. A goal and assist so far. His assist, by the way, that cutback looks. He created 2 yards for Scully there. Scully, the other player, 2 very good goals. You cannot put him in after that. And I'm going to go for Tunnicliffe because he was a warrior. He didn't stop and he was in your face and he broke everything down. He reminded me like the Kenny Dougal of League One last year. He's going to be a very good player for them this year. And if they were to go up, he'll be a big part of that. And yeah, let's see. Bishop and Scholes are their bright light. And they've already rejected bids for both of them, I've heard, due to on Twitter, on a transfer site. So it'll be interesting to see. I think Charles will be wanting $1 million plus and Bishop probably around the same. They've got 800k for Burgess at the back. Do they need the money? I think so, but they don't want to sell for a stupid price or a small fee. So they'll be fine. I reckon they'll keep hold of him. Remember Charles, Southport before we let go of him and goes on for £1 million. This is why I'm glad our recruitment's finally coming through from the youth and players that we're bringing through because we're finally seeing the quality. If you give them a chance, they're going to be good players. And Charles has done that. So 20 goals last year. He's a good player and he creates things out of nothing. Do you think if Fleetwood had Angels, they would have had a better start or even get promoted last season? If Fleetwood had Gareth Angels in that playoff, we would have won that game of football. Joey, but I hate blaming Joey, but his things before press conferences were weird. Oh, Sunderland, we're a miles better team than them. Blackpool, we're a bigger team than them. Shut up. Ainsworth, right? 3 games. He needed to beat Swansea away. After that, they were down pretty much, right? 2-0 up with 10 minutes to go. They drew 2-2. The referee made a bad decision in that game. Didn't blame the officials once. Oh, I'm so proud of my boys. My boys did this. My boys did this. That is how you want to play for your manager. Gareth Angels was a top-class manager, a top-class bloke. And I was upset when we lost in the playoffs, but I loved it for Angels because I can't speak any highly of him. He's a terrific man, just a terrific man. And, he deserves everything. And if Wycombe didn't go up, they'll stick with him because he's a superb manager. And I think I look at clubs like Accrington, Wycombe, Rotherham. Their clubs, their managers, I reckon go through bad spells they don't sack. Those 3 managers will leave on their terms, in my opinion. Because John Coleman, Paul Ward and Gavin have done enough at their football clubs to leave when they want to do. I reckon Paul Ward, if we don't win promotion this year, will leave Rotherham. He looked exhausted towards the end of last year. Angel will say Coleman will be at Accrington in 25 years' time. He never leaves. Palmer at right back, Brown at left wing back. Makes more sense for Wednesday. Do you agree with me in midfield isn't strong enough? It says a lot when you say that, when I think midfield's our strongest area, but I don't think it's strong enough. Now, what your problem is, we've got very similar players in the midfield area. Biggins, Batty, Rossiter, and Matete. Matete and Rossiter and Batty are all the same player. Box to box, break up play, pass sideways, move forward. Biggins, pass backwards, occasionally pass forwards. Keeps it ticking along. Camps on the bench of there, 1-0 up. Don't bring him on. 1-1. Don't bring him on. So, when you've got creativity in midfield, you've got 11 goals last year. There's no goals in our midfield. That's our problem. Occasional 1 or 2 from Batty or Matete, probably. Let's see. What do you think? Who do you think will be the top goal scorer? I said Pigott. I'm still going to go for that though. Do you think people will go? Do you think Fleetwood will go down? I reckon Fleetwood will be down there. I reckon Cambridge will be down there. I reckon Cheltenham will be down there. I'm interested to see. I can't say quite yet. 10 games in, that's where the table's starting to shape up. Around about £200,000, £250,000. A year left on the deal. People moaned at it. It's got a year left. We've got £250,000 for him. We could, put it into the club, pay our embargo off. Happy days. You know what I mean? By the way, right, we had to pay £250,000 to get rid of Ched Evans, one of the best strikers in League One last year. So just remember that. Do you think Sunderland have made good signs? Yeah, I like Doyle. I like Corey Evans. They've kept Stewart. They kept McGeady. Elliot Embleton's basically like a new signing. So I like it a lot. I think they'll have a good season this year, Sunderland. We're on to the last 5 minutes. Keep your questions flooding. Get subscribing. We are just over 200 subscribers away from 7,000. And if you've not joined by a membership like Roy has just done, thank you very much, Roy, for joining as a member. I appreciate it, mate. Get joining. And, anything will be appreciated. Get subscribing. And let's hope we can get to 8K by the end of the season. We'll take Morris at Lincoln, to be honest with you. Can you imagine Appleton would be love to get a player like him? He would be, because he reminds me of Rodgers or a younger Delican, skillful, can get out players, can take a player on. Problem is, he's only got 1 foot and he does one skill move all game. So as soon as you suss that out, you're on to him. But his pace can beat a defender. And he did that numerous occasions the other day. You dealt with it the best I've seen so far. Huddersfield couldn't live with him first off. Portsmouth couldn't live with him first off. You couldn't live with him first off. That chance he had, he should score. If that's Paddy Madden or Ched Evans, that's 1-0. If we had Paddy Madden or Ched Evans, by the way, we'd be sitting on 6 points. That's delusional. We've had good chances, but we just can't put them away. It's frustrating, man. Frustrating. I'm doing very well, thank you very much, mate. I hope you're doing well. Relegation party. Let's go for it, Josh. League 2 tour, eh? I've always wanted to go to Sutton away. Come on, the boys. New grounds. It'd be just typical, right? I turned this channel into a League 1 channel and Fleet will get relegated in the first season. That would just be typical. Opinion on Tom Clark. Excellent on Saturday. I like the way he just doesn't care. He just blocks everything, gets in the way of everything, smashes everything. Like, what a man. Like, bit old, yeah, bit slow and bit of a weak in the header, but can't be any worse than a couple of other players that we've got at the moment. But, like him, experience. We've got young centre-halves as well. We've been kind of playing with Danny Andrew at left centre-half, Clark in the middle and Hilly on the right. So, yeah, absolutely. What you got, Wes Ulan? Wes Ulan created like 6 chances the other day. The man's a baller. 38, 39 years old is he now? Got an assist the other day. Machine. Like him a lot. What a player. He is going to be. If Cambridge to stay up, he's going to have to be on fire. The worry is I don't think he can play 46 games because of his age. When he's not in the team, where's that creativity coming from? Love that. Green Army. Thoughts on Louis Barry to Ipswich? Good move. Exciting move, and I like it a lot. I'm interested to see how he does. I think he'll get at least 7 to 8 goals this year, in my opinion. There we go. Will the shouts to start grazing get loud if Highbury Fleet was struggling? Yes, 100%. I'll be honest with you, I expected probably a point out the first 2, maximum. So I wasn't going to expect Sheffield. I'm not expecting anything. Cheltenham at home, no disrespect to Cheltenham. They are a good side. They're going to be hard to beat and a good outfit. We have to beat them. A point, okay. But 3 is... Because after that, after you played Cheltenham, I think Fleetwood have got Plymouth Argyle away, Wigan at home, and Rotherham away. I'm not being funny. Could be looking... But Fleetwood will probably lose to Cheltenham and beat Rotherham, Plymouth and Sheffield Wednesday away. It wouldn't surprise me. It really wouldn't. Who's had the best transfer win? Oh, Ipswich have signed 16 players, but signed well. Wednesday have signed not as many, but signed very well. Charlton just need a few more, but again, are up there in the window. Morecambe's business has been smart. I'd go for Wednesday, Ipswich, and Morecambe for the top 3. Teams like Bolton, around about mid-table. I think they've got enough goals. Defensively, maybe not good enough to keep enough clean sheets to get into the playoffs, but 3-year plan with Bolton. This year, mid-table. Next year, challenge. 3rd year, promotion. Jim West with a £3 super sticker. Thank you very much, Jim. I really appreciate that. We're coming to the end of tonight's show. This channel makes me want to support Fleetwood. I love it. Well, get subscribing, guys. Got loads of Fleetwood vlogs, and this will be a regular thing on a Monday, hopefully. All due to work commitments as well. But if it's not on next week, it'll be on the week after, and we'll keep you guys entertained. Same section. We'll have guests on, and we'll do a 15-minute Q&A at the end. Lincoln interest in Brandon Hanlon. Smart signing. Didn't work out at Bristol Rovers, but if he's in the right system that creates chances, he's a good player. Great video, Ben. Keep up the good work. Cheers, Roy, as ever. But it's a fade myth. I love that. Quality is always bent tonight. Come on, Wycombe. How do you think Beckham Burton will finish this year? They'll challenge for the top 6. I'm very confident in that. I think they're a good side. They've got good players and a good manager. Akin Fenwell, Joey Barton, Johnny Kindy all to get in a scrap. Who's winning it, lol? Ooh. Akinde, I reckon Joey's a bit more mouth and no. Well, we've seen him talk, put it that way, in previous years, and we've seen him talk and get rid of our best 2 players and keep Wes Burns. So yeah, hello the Hybe stand. Great first episode, Ben. This is the only place to be for League One content. Thanks, Tony. I really appreciate that. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching today's live stream. Thank you so much for the support. We've had around 50 of you in at all times. If you're new to the channel, please remember to like and subscribe. I've really enjoyed discussing League One with you this afternoon. 4 teams remain, 2 games, 2 wins. 3 teams remain without a point, only 1 without a goal. Fleetwood still pointless. Again, as a Shrewsbury, as a Doncaster. Until next time, I'll see you later. Well, I'll be going to Sheffield Wednesday against Fleetwood Town tomorrow to watch some more League One action. Until next time, I'll see you later. Make sure you get the notifications on down below so you never miss another video or a stream. See you later, guys. Up the cards.